Hey guys, this is a general reading for Virgo for May of 2019. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Virgo in your chart, if you're just drawn to this video or you're cross-watching like for another sign, or just if this video just resonates with you. For more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, please check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Any of my other videos that resonate with you that I've already made or that I will be making. If you have significant placements in your chart, anything like that. Energy is fluid, so some, none, or all of this may apply. It could have already happened. It could be happening now. It could happen in the future. I could read this as you. It could be somebody else around you. I could read this as love. It could be career. So just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Just take what fits and leave the rest. Thank you so much for those of you who have contributed to my channel. And a lot of people have asked about like donation information. So all of that information, such as my PayPal address and my email address, it's all in the description box below. So thank you for that, because I know a lot of people, and it means a lot to me to want to continue the energy flow and also just give back because it really helped them in some way. Also, if you're interested about services, private reading, anything like that, look in the description box below. I do a lot of services and that list is always growing. So just check it out. Please read all of it, including the disclaimer. A lot of people just get to my email and then they email me. Read it all. Of course, I'm always willing to help, but it saves me time. So read it if you can. But thank you so much for those who have donated to, you know, me, to the channel and everything. It really helps because anything that I get, whether it's through the channel, donations, services, most of that money goes towards me furthering my healing journey. So not only do I heal and grow, but I give back and help others because that's what I'm guided to do. That's, you know, really what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So I'm furthering that, such as I just advanced my Reiki into Holy Fire, so I'll be doing that and teaching those classes soon. I also offer Reiki services, but I'll be starting classes probably in the beginning of the year. I am in the middle of shamanic training. I have 2 directions down with that. And in 2020, I'll be doing plant spirit medicine. So all of those I'll also be able to do distant or in person. So that's another way that I can further give back and help people because a lot of people need assistance during this time. So you guys help me, help myself to then be able to guide and help others. Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. But if you can't donate to the channel, then at least subscribe and hit the bell and like the video so it circulates so that more people are apt to see it and get the message or help if they feel drawn to. And I'm always coming up with different ways too. So I'll always let you guys know that. And comment too. I love reading you guys' comments, even if I can't always comment back. But I always read every single one of them, and I really enjoy them, whether they're beautiful or whether they're and they teach me something. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for just walking this journey with me and allowing me to walk it with you. I think that's all for now. So if I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. Just remember, general reading, you know, energies are fluid. So, but Virgo, you really have some type of decision to make, some type of, which I think I haven't done a Virgo video in a good little while. So I feel like you kind of had this coming up back when too. Unless this is a different decision, but there's some decision you're either wanting to make or you're trying to decide how to make, like which way to go with it. I just feel it's a very quiet energy. And by quiet, I mean, like, because even in your crowning position, one of your cards is the Hermit. And I really feel like that's really a lot. It's almost like quiet and dark, which is really weird because it feels, and maybe this will explain as I get doing the reading, but to me it feels peaceful. I don't know if I quite want to say peaceful, but like blank. Almost like I don't know if you're trying to let your intuition take care of it, or it's like you're waiting for the situation to play itself out because it's really kind of a heavy situation. It's kind of, it could be kind of messy. And you're not possibly totally sure of yourself right now to where you don't want to make a move and mess something up or make the wrong move. Yeah, that's why this is here. So it's almost like you're energetically just completely removing yourself from it in a way. And letting the cards fall where they do. Because in a way, and this might change as I get into it, of course, channeling, but because you feel like that might be your right way. I don't know if you can fully trust yourself at this point, because there's such a state of transition, or even something different that you're experiencing that you're not used to. You may not have dealt with or navigated this type of thing before, or it's throwing you for a loop to where you don't have, you know, the past experience. Like the Hermit card has experience. They have wisdom built up over time. They have been through this before or seen this before. So they know how to navigate certain energies. And if they don't, they go in that solitude and they search for it to figure it out, for something to be revealed to them. And I feel like that's what you're doing, because I feel like this may be something that you haven't experienced before or been prepared for, or even anticipated, to the point where you're going within in that kind of hermit mode, doing a little bit of soul seeking. I get kind of matched up with a little bit of letting fate or the universe, or basically it's like I see people sitting at a poker table or a card table, and you're waiting to see when the people reveal their hands. So either or, even maybe. Like waiting to see what's shown to you, what hands people reveal, like who they are or what they've got going on. Or even waiting till the universe just reveals that thing to you. You get that like aha moment, like what the you know, hermit normally goes looking for or having. because I just think it can be really messy. I think it can be really messy, whatever this is. Not only with energies within yourself, but also in your environment. So let's move forward. You have the Two of Wands. So you know, wanting to move forward, make a decision, having a vision of going somewhere or doing something, and expanding or moving forward type energy. Maybe even to commit to, I'm just going to say this as a whatever, because when I first laid the cards, it screamed out to me. So the cards kind of lay like this. So this is going to be your center card. This is going to be your recent past that I'll get to. This is going to be likely future. And you have Temperance and you have the Hierophant. So wanting either to move to something more balanced, traditional, or whatever, but also the card meanings are the signs kind of called out to me. And I don't always read those out, but it is to me now where it's almost like this is Temperance, this would be a Sagittarius. And then here's you, and then, or somebody, and then here's the Hierophant, which means Taurus. And I feel like it's a decision, possibly. It could be not these or someone who represents these energies or between two people, but I feel like these are the between two people. And it's like you're looking and waiting for something else, and she's looking at the Hierophant. So either way, I feel like you have a decision between two things or two people. But one thing probably is more in your favor, but I think it's really hard because I kind of get this vibe that it's something between, you know, a tradition, something that you've built up, what, you know, you've always thought you wanted, like good job, you're doing good by the universe, by your family, by your values you've grown up with, you know, that routine, that tradition, that this is what you're supposed to do. And between stuff that either your heart really calls to or you're really passionate about, maybe you even have some type of like moderation issues, like could be something. I mean, I don't get a whole lot of things here about, you know, addictive things or, you know, balance, but you've got a lot of things about weighing things up and choices and making something, you know, just right. And I don't want to jump ahead. These energies are making me jump all over and not go. So you might be feeling like things are not going the normal way. They're not going the normal way. They're not going the way that you would have expected. They're not going the way that you had planned. And I think you're just trying to figure out what to do or what direction to go. Because I think in the past with this energy, I think you tried little things to keep doing, to either tweak it and make it right or figure out what you wanted, or maybe even decide between things. Maybe there was some moderation or balance issues, overindulgence issues. And you're trying to find a way to settle it down, and you could either commit more or go more traditional, like fight some things within yourself, but go more traditional. It doesn't feel as strong with me for that, though. It actually feels stronger to me of deciding between two things. And one of them is between something that is more traditional that may or may not have been what you thought it would be or planned it out to be, or it's not going the way you thought it would. And you're trying, almost even like a head and heart decision to, like, to decide between what part of you thinks you should do that's possibly right, and what another part of you wants to do. So what's crossing you, and this is something that as I'm saying this, I can feel this energy right from my throat to my stomach. So for one, there is definitely an expression here thing. There is a part of you that is wanting to be expressed and come out that feels like it's being held back, which is either in a you really should express yourself way, or in a way where you're learning how to calm that part of yourself, to moderate things, for balance, for almost like I get a strength card vibe here, but I don't have it. Do I? I don't think I do. But there may even be not knowing if you have, you know, the confidence for it or the willpower to do it. Are you strong enough? Are you capable? In all different ways. I mean, it could be financially, it could be belief-wise, it could be emotional. I mean, it could be in so many different ways. But it's heavy though, and it's really so now I can feel the anxiety kicking in. It might actually be twisting up your stomach. Like I just kind of, not quite, but I feel like I want to vomit. But not like up here. It's in a twisting of my stomach kind of way. Hopefully this isn't giving you stomach issues or ulcers. But what's crossing you is you have the Hanged Man and you have the Magician. So you're definitely waiting because you're trying to figure out, you know, a perspective or a way to go for this that is going to be productive on which way you want to create and place your energies. Again, between, like if you look how what he's holding between the wand and the sword. And the funny part about this is if you look, this sword has the cup by it and the wand has this pentacle. So it's definitely a head over heart decision, but also you're wanting to go, you're very conflicted. You're wanting to pick a more passionate route because in your thoughts, I really do need to make this to a way where I can like double it up where you could see me and then see the cards, because it'd be nice to just see the cards, but don't bug me about it. I'm not there yet. But here she's picking, like, I almost get this more as like a purity, like it's what's right type thing. And then this is like a passion, maybe what you're really passionate about type thing. So she's picking the thing that I almost get is like more right to do, but is looking and waiting on something that she's more passionate about. And again, in your recent past, there's like this huge moderation card, and she's sitting between the two, you know, trying to make it just right, or find that just right balance between either two people, or maybe between the two, you get exactly what you want, and maybe that was taken away from you and you had to decide. But either way, they were there, and there was a thing about moderation and indulgence, and I think needing or wanting to pick one. And I feel like you're more in the mind of, I'm going to pick what I should, you know, and I'm going to pick what's right. But you're still wanting and watching and waiting for something else. I think the reason for this is because there's a perspective that hasn't come to you yet. And it may come with divine timing, or in time. Like how you're like sitting here waiting, like you're waiting. But a large part of you is wanting to go after this that you're passionate about and create something with it. Something that can grow and be tangible and productive and just keep growing, you know? You're waiting. I don't feel like I need to pull cards on these. You're waiting to see what you should put time in and manifest. And in right now, while you're waiting, you're choosing what's right. And, you know, probably what's already going or whatever. But in your foundation, which I also view as the subconscious, you know, you got this Nine of Swords. And he's also covering his eyes, like he doesn't want to see. And this is where I felt the anxiety starting to come in. And again, you're waiting. Like, here's a thing about a clock while he's waiting. And then here's the anxiety, like while you're waiting, there's a clock. So, you know, even though you're kind of pulling back and going in your little area where you're not worrying about it, that you're letting things figure themselves out, you are actually worrying about it. Because, you know, on one hand, you really want something, but on the other hand, there's probably a good chance that, you know, it's going to mess a lot of things up. But I just get this vibe that there is things and energies in you that are just bothering you, and they are just growing and growing, and just things that like you cannot ignore. It'd be nice if you could, you think. But it's not working out so well. In your recent past, like I said, you have the Temperance card. So I don't think this is like, woo, balance. Like, I think it was balanced, but I think it was balanced for you. I think at one time, these two situations were just like so. Like, as you needed this, you had this for you. As you needed this, you had this for you. And let's see if I can find out what's upsetting that. But something about it is not allowing you to do that anymore, or you don't want to, or I don't know, maybe where you're wanting to put your main energy. You know, if you want a little bit of this, you'd go this way. If you want a little bit of this, you'd go that way. But for some reason, you're having to decide, or you're just waiting on somebody. Not sure why you're waiting. Why the end of the Temperance? So we have the Two of Swords. Why the end of the Temperance? Wow. It's getting to you. I don't know if somebody else stopped something, but it is getting to you. I mean, you have the Two of Swords. You have the Eight of Swords. So being like trapped and can't see. You have the Three of Swords. And then you have the Six of Swords. So it's really getting to you, and you do not want that energy anymore. Like you want, it's getting to a point where you have to figure it out. Like you can't just have both. They're not intermingling in the same way. I feel like there's something I'm missing. I mean, some of you might have been like in third-party situations, and one of them is ending, and you might either want it to end, or one of them is ending, and you're now trying to figure out what direction to go that is going to be I don't know, productive, for lack of better words, for you. And you definitely have a lot here about Taurus too, because you have the Hierophant, and you have the King of Pentacles at the bottom of your deck. So I feel like there is something or someone that you've been waiting on. And the whole balance or limbo that you've had for however long, for whatever reason, is not working for you. I don't know why all of a sudden you may be in your head about it. I'm not sure if I can pinpoint it in a general reading. I don't know, just for some reason, the limbo state is bothering you. I feel like if I had to go with what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling right now, I feel like the energy's playing out. Exactly like I was saying in the beginning of the video, where I was like, you may be waiting to see what the universe plays out around you and people's hands. Like, I feel like you could possibly, you either are seeing or feeling the shifts in the energies lately. And not only are you seeing it in your external, but you're feeling it within yourself. And I think you either know that it might possibly either fall around you, but even more so, I think the energies are getting to you where it's like you have to be true to you. Like, because a lot of those energies are going around right now where people are having to be true to themselves and in a line. Like, to be disintegrated is not really working for a lot of people anymore. And I think it's really pushing you to be like, what do you really want? And it's really pushing you to decide that and really look between your beliefs and your values and who you were and what you grew up thinking to what do you really want? And if you do really want what you've been in, finding new meaning to it, that you're not there just because it's what's right or it looks successful or it's what you should do, but because it means something to you. And if it doesn't, I don't think you want it anymore. Like, I mean, you don't want to upset things, but you're really getting that push to be like, I want what I want. And I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. I'm not saying either way. I'm just picking up on an energy here. There is something about moderation and possibly even either addictions or patterns that you're not seeing of yourself, which is also showing up over here, what's in your environment, that is really going to push you to look at, what do you want? Why do you want it? What does it mean to you? Do you want it because you really want it, or do you want it for addictive reasons or power reasons or control reasons or jealousy or envy or lust or blah, 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 blah? Why do you want it? And really having to integrate a lot of those parts within you, because it's starting to become very apparent how much they're keeping you enslaved and in control, especially in your own head. And I just don't think you want to be there anymore. So, I mean, some of this could be internal energies pushing you. Some of it could be external energies, like what's going on around you. And some of it could be because something happened around you and it's pushing you to do this. But I know that 3 cards that I'm feeling guided to pull up now is, you have Grapes, which is time to go out and have fun. You have Peacock, beware of great pride. And then you have Axe, forces working against you. So this is really going to be different for different people. And this is why you're really going to have to really look at these energies, and why you're probably going within in your hermit, in your thoughts. Because I think you're trying, like, you see that there are things that could either make it or break it, like make you or break you right now. And you're really trying to decide between, is this, something's really pushing you to decide, is this really what I want? Like, is this a true expression of me? Or does anything about any of this have to do with any patterns or addictions or codependencies or old ways of being, thinking, behaving, whatever, that is now starting to control me or rule me. Maybe at one time it was fun. Maybe at one time it was okay. You can get by with it. Life wasn't so serious. But for some reason, there's like this serious vibe to it now where maybe it's getting to where it can't go on anymore, or you're really having to look at it, whether it's because somebody else is putting this on you, like sort of like a ultimatum type thing, or whether it's just you can't handle it anymore. You can't handle the back and the forth and the not knowing and where are you putting your energies, and maybe as for whatever reason why you're being called to figure this out because you don't want the back and the forth and the energies anymore. You're having to really decide on what do I want, because if I'm not going to do this back and forth anymore, I need to make sure that wherever I'm landed and staying and building is that it's productive and it's happy for me and it's what is true and resonating within me. Just a call to be true to you. Whatever that is. Probably a lot of, honestly, generational pattern stuff also to be breaking. And there's a lot of that going on where people are really looking at themselves. A lot of people do things in this world and they don't know why. They don't know why, and it's not even them. And that's what's going on with a lot of people, is that it's stopping them to look at why they're doing things. What does it mean to them? And making sure that it means something to them if they're doing it. And they're not doing it in a subconscious or unconscious or in a sleep zombie-like robotic type of way. They're doing it because they're consciously choosing it. And it is fully benefiting them. They're wanting it. Because a lot of times when we walk around and we're not aware of why we're doing things, that's a lot of times where a victim mentality comes into play. Where you may not fully understand why what's going on, why you're either doing what you're doing or why what's being done to you. And part of you doesn't like it, and part of you is drawn to it, and there's just this kind of victim mentality that happens from it. But in your thoughts, crowning position, you have the Hermit and the Ace of Pentacles. In this particular Hermit, I don't know if it's relevant, but I'll show you in case it is. He is not holding a lantern, so doesn't really see yet. I don't think you see yet. But he is like armored up like a mofo. Like, he is just armored. I mean, I've never seen a hermit that armored. I don't know. It's confusing to me a little bit why he's going into this dark forest that is unknown and he's armored, yet there's a bell on his horse. It's almost like, I want to armor myself and be prepared in case something does happen. But you're also, so you might be preparing yourself for whatever is happening or might happen. But you're also maybe messaging or notifying that it is. I think when you go into this unknown territory or whatever you think might happen, I think you are, I don't know if you're waiting on a message or if you're going to message, but I think you may alert them that you're coming in some way or another, but you will have protected yourself and you're ready, I guess, for whatever comes your way, or at least you're going to try to prepare yourself the best you can to be ready. But you're definitely wanting to make a new beginning out of this. It is uncharted territory for you, though. In some way or another, it's uncharted territory. In your likely future, you have the Hierophant. So some new commitments, maybe you see, like you see the lesson, you see the direction you're supposed to go, you see the path. Maybe you help and heal others or guide others, I don't know. But it could be a Taurus. Maybe you head towards a Taurus. But something new, some new path, some new commitment, some new path that you're committed to. You realize it. You now know what way to go. You don't have the lantern now, but you will in the future. Tell me about the Hierophant. Yeah, like you know what to work for. You have the 8 of Pentacles and you have the King of Wands. And you move towards it. Yep. The Fool card. You move towards it. You take a risk. Yep. I mean, everything's coming up about you've made a decision. The decision has come to you. The realization, decision, whatever. Ace of Swords. Yep. About the token. I feel like, because you have the Devil and the Page of Wands, I feel like you feel drawn to go towards it, to work together on it, to take control of it. Maybe you lost control and you're wanting to get control back. Hopefully you're not like doing this and keeping the other situation, but tell me about 3 of Pentacles. I don't know. There's probably a small percentage of you that they're keeping the other part and going towards this to gain back. Because I feel like you lost control of something. And you were waiting to see what to do. Some of you, something ended. I think for a lot of you, something ended or is ending, or you just don't want it. And the King of Cups is coming up a lot too. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Head and heart balance. But I feel like you guys have wanted something, but you have not been saying it. Or not talking about it. You haven't been showing your cards. There's a lot here about coming up about cards and showing your cards in life and things happening and where things fall. But as they're doing it, somebody or you is not showing your cards. Before you do, you want life and other people to show you theirs. And this waiting is driving you crazy. Because you want to go and you want to build and you want to explore and you want to do all those things that Virgos love doing. You know, they love building and looking into things and the details and the whatever, and you want to do it. You want to go. So, I mean, it could very much be a person, like an actual, like, Taurus, or it could just be, like, you have been shown and you are confident about the direction that you are going. How you see yourself, you have the Seven of Wands. I guess I'll show them together so you can get a little bit better of a picture. You have the Seven of Wands and you have the Four of Pentacles. So see how the Seven of Wands, normally the Seven of Wands, they're above and they're holding their things going down at people. They're at a higher ground. She's lower. They're above her, coming at her. And then this rat, is that a rat? Is like hiding from what it wants. So I think that you feel like you're not in power, or you're not in control of the situation, or you're not in control of what you want. You might even be like watching somebody, to be honest with you, because, you know, in your position, like here's you're choosing something else, yet you're looking at something else. And then the way you see yourself, you feel like you're in a lower, maybe a disadvantaged position, or maybe people in your environment maybe that's another reason you're feeling pushed to decide, is because where you're at, you don't feel very empowered, or like people are just coming at you, like coming down on you. Maybe a lot of people are coming down on you. And it's very nerve-wracking. It's very disempowering. And you don't like it. You want something new, but you're not really yet going after what you want. You're like keeping an eye on it. This is an interesting reading. Again, the Four of Pentacles is a Taurus card. So you have the King of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant, you have the Four of Pentacles. You also have the Three of Pentacles, which I'm pretty sure is a Taurus card. But you feel like a bunch of people or life or something is coming down on you, or you at a disadvantage or disempowered. And while you're waiting, like, because you're just locking down for a minute while you're waiting for all the pieces to fall and for the cards to be revealed, you're watching what you want. You're peeping. Or somebody else is, but this is in your position, so you're watching that which you want. Is it good for you? I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to go there with that, but this is sugar and cookies and I don't know. I mean, that's coming up a lot too on, you know, it was very much coming up. Like, why do you want something? Do you want it just because? Do you want it because you can't have it? Do you want it because you don't have control over it? Do you want it because of lustful reasons? Do you want it because you really love it? Do you want it basically for reasons that are serving you or reasons that are controlling you? I think that's really a theme that's coming up, you guys. Like, I don't even know what to name this video. There's so many things I can go with on this. There's really something in you that you're really needing to get in check. So some of you, the other situation is possibly ending or you don't really want it anyway, so you're seeing about how to go forward. And some of you are deciding between two things. And you're really, really, really having to look at why. Because in your environment, you have the Lover's card. And this Lover's card, I mean, really anyone, is also about needing to make a decision, sometimes a head over heart decision, which, to be honest, I feel like you've already done. And I think maybe, I'm not sure if you're regretting it or if you've done that and stabilized things and now you're waiting on whatever you've cut out or has went away or has cut you out or whatever to come back or to see how to bring it back. There's a lot of stories here playing out, so just apply it as necessary and leave what doesn't. But in for some reason, you feel disempowered. And I don't know if it's the other situation you're waiting on, or if it's the situation you're actually in. Because one thing I feel like what you're having to make a decision between is very controlling. No, that's probably why. It's very controlling, and it doesn't allow you to be you. Which either doesn't allow you to be you, or there's parts of you that you haven't integrated yet, and you've got your own shadow to work through, and that's why. Something is very controlling, at least you feel it's controlling, and something else is very loving, nurturing, and pure. And again, you know, this card is all about really bringing your attention to what decision do you make, being at a crossroads. Why are you making this decision? What do you want from it? Is it serving you? Is it controlling you? Will it help you? Will it sabotage you? Are you doing because you really want it? Why do you want it? You need to ask all these why questions. Why do you want it? What supply will it give you? How will it benefit your life? Will it hinder your life? Do you want it because you really want it? Do you want it because of your traditions? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to keep going to that because I've already said it, but you're really going to have to see why you really want it. There may also be a chance that some of you are wanting to go after something because whatever you're wanting to go after, because it really came up with, what else was it with the Emperor? The King of Swords and the Emperor. Like, this other situation you either want to take control of, or you feel like it empowers you and it gives you more control, or you'd be able to have more control with this other situation. Because for some of you, you may actually be in a situation where you're controlled in some way or another. Like, you are controlled. You cannot be you or do what you want. Like, you do not feel like you have the level of power and control that you want to have. And you either want to release from this situation and go to the other one where you feel more controlling, or able to be in more control, or be able to control more, or you want to keep this situation that you're in, but you're looking for this other situation and waiting for them to come back around. And if not, you're trying to figure out how to play your cards right to bring them back around, because they balance out this level of control. Like I said, there's this, when you need this, you go to this. When you need this, you go to this. The situation you're in may not give you the type of control that you really like for whatever reason, but this other situation that you're waiting on may balance that out, and you go put your control over there, which makes up for the fact that the main situation you're in doesn't give you the level of control that you want. So, again, you know, some of this could be rightfully so and good stuff, and some of it could be, what I'm trying to say is, some of this could be because you really are passionately and want somebody, and some of you could be doing like some very like player or manipulative or narcissistic type of ways going on here. Or even not realizing it and you're just asleep. Which then you're going to have to ask yourself, do I really not want to be in the situation that I'm in, but there's a part of my ego or part of my patterns that want to keep this part going? And this other person or situation that you're waiting for feeds that other part of you. Which again is not necessarily wrong, it's just you have to decide what you want and you have to integrate those energies. And then that way you don't like become controlled by them or play victim to it. The idea really isn't to get your shadow to go away. It's to see your shadow and integrate your shadow so that your shadow doesn't control you, to where you are making conscious decisions and not being pulled or drawn or even self-sabotaging or self-manipulating because of that. Or you having to realize why you want it. Oh, I know, I want it because I don't feel in control. I don't feel in control of my life, and I don't feel like I'm able to express myself. Okay, well, now what decision do I need to make? Now I need to decide whether or not I can have that in the situation that I'm in. How do I learn to express myself? How do I bring balance to that situation? How do I feel more in control in a healthy, balanced way in that situation? Or is that just a mess, and that's just so much of an image and something that's not even resonating within me that now I want this, which then you're going to have to ask yourself with that, is that so out of balance that you're holding it on a pedestal that it's just going to crash before you if you don't look properly at it? Something you might want to look at too, okay? If you're really waiting on everything to fall into place and to go successfully and to build and grow in the way you want it to grow, please really make sure you're doing this self-work, because you're going to want to balance out these energies within yourself if this is you. Because if not, I guarantee you, if you're bringing that devil card energy or that codependent energy to this other person, you're probably going to sabotage it in the same way this other situation feels controlling to you. Because in some way or another, it's going to turn toxic, and it's going to feel like crap. And you're going to feel like you lost control. Just saying. This seems like an energy within, I'm sure it's around you too. There's no way you're going to be in this and the people around you aren't. But this seems like something within you that you're really having to look at. Just wanting to say. But there's very much something here that I feel like you lost control of, or you don't have control in. Apply this as necessary. I don't want to keep going with it, because I could go in like a million storylines right now. How your environment sees you. Also, if you do want to know more, hit me up for a personal reading. Look in the description box below. How your environment sees you. 2 of Cups. The Star. 6 of Cups. Knight of Swords. So, whoever it is, which is kind of hard to say because you've got the Lovers here. So, either way, if this is 2 people or 2 situations, they may literally look at you the same way. That you are what they want. There's a lot of emotional stuff there. They want to take action towards this. They know what they want. They're willing to say it. Where's my cards? Yeah, like they know what they want, and they're willing to put action into it. They're willing to go towards it. There's no doubt in their mind. Queen of Wands, so again, Sagittarius, could be Aries or Leo. But that you're what they want. They're the family, the achievement, the accomplishment, again, maybe image, what it looks like to society, celebrations, coming together, you've gotten everything you want. Could be Libra with the Justice card, but it's fair. Maybe, could be divorce. I don't really get that. I mean, it doesn't match with any of the other cards. But they know what they want. That's how the environment sees you. So maybe somebody else, what's in your environment, could be trying to decide what they want and why they want it, or that's you. Because how the environment sees you is that let's put it this way, either you know what you want and that you're in love and everything is the way it's supposed to be and you're willing to work for it and blah blah blah, or they are. But considering it's how your environment sees you, I don't think you're necessarily being honest with this person or situation that you're with. I don't think you're letting them know what's going on in your head, or even possibly what your plans are. So, I don't know. They either see you as all this amazingness, or they see like that's what you're representing to them. I don't know. What's up with this environment? Yeah, like they think the hard times are over and things are going great, new beginning, everything is healed. Maybe you guys got back together. You made the head over heart decision to go with what's right. And you're still sitting there waiting and watching and waiting your time to do whatever you're going to do. Whether you stay in the situation and you're just waiting for time to settle down and then start doing what you want to do again. Or literally move, like make a different decision. So if anybody's cross-watching this, you know, make sure you guys are really on your you know, your game, your stuff, and make sure there's things that are needing to be proven here. Because some people really are trying to make a decision and they're really just having a hard time at this point in their life. I mean, I have compassion for all of them, but some of you are dealing with somebody who there is a manipulative and a player-like energy here, you know, narcissistic or narcissistic tendencies, whatever. But because somebody or some people, they're just not showing their cards. Some are going to be like a family man. Some want to go after a Taurus or something like that energy. And they're leaving or wanting to leave something else because it's not what they thought it was or what it was going to be. They didn't reap, I guess, the rewards they wanted from it. And there will be an end of a cycle. And then they'll be coming in to someone else to try to go to or renew something. But I still feel like here's this King of Cups popping up again, and see how he has this cards. Like, he's not showing his cards when he comes towards. It could actually be a Libra, or Queen of Swords energy. Could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or just somebody, maybe even who cut them off. Like, maybe who cut you off. Apply this as necessary to whoever it fits for. But maybe somebody got cut off, or somebody cut you off, and you were back with like what was right, or maybe it was a family situation or whatever. And, you know, you or they are waiting. You know, there's probably like a juggling energy here, or a, what do I want? Definitely indulgence issues, and I don't know if it's just having to figure energies out within yourself for manipulation, or if it's truly you're mixed between like old karmic patterns and coming to your new genuine self and going with somebody who you truly love. But you gotta like, do I let go of what I thought was right and what I built up, and maybe even a family, to go with what I truly love? type stuff. I mean, it's a mixture, so it's going to be hard to say, but some of them are going to be like a family man trying to decide whether or not to leave their family. Some of them want to go towards a Taurus, but either way, the situation isn't what they thought it was going to be. And some are just trying to like relax and decide what they want and staying safe in the meantime while they figure it out. Or some are just waiting for the time to relax because they got back with somebody else. Like maybe things went awry, and when they had to decide between the two, they made a head over heart decision, and they chose what was right, what they were, you know, normally doing, blah, blah, blah. They didn't choose or go with their heart. And now they're like either regretting it, or they're waiting for time to settle down because they're putting off this image, like they're really working for it, they really want it, everything's good, and until this person's defenses go down and they stop trying to control them or watching them, and then they like kind of re-spark and go back to either what they were doing, either with multiple people or with this other person, that either they cut them off or the other person cut this person off, or maybe you went back to what was right because the other person cut you off. There's a lot of things about Taurus here. And wanting to build with them. Because there's a strength card. Like some of you miss them. Some of you feel like you missed an opportunity with somebody. And you want to take action towards it. Because you feel like they might be a better partner for you. Maybe you either broke or hurt their heart and they're defensive, or just the energy you're in right now leaves you very heartbroken and defensive and just in a very controlling environment. It's just not happy. You're always just in a waiting, juggling, it's got to be better than this type energy. And you just want to walk away and go towards something that's better and that's easier on your mind and your heart and your soul, that makes you feel more energized and playful and happy, you know, like a child, but an adult. Like bring back your energy of a child. You want to feel like new and vibrant again. Some of you, this is a very healthy energy and wanting to come into the genuineness of your own. But some of you also, this is a very toxic energy because you are putting this energy outside of you, or chasing the grass is always greener on the other side type thing, and not watering your own pastures and watering your own seeds. And you're always chasing. So just make sure that you've watered your seeds and fertilized your own grass before you go check out another grass, and that you calmed these own energies. Please don't, if you are wanting to move forward you think it's a legitimate way, please calm these energies within yourself before you do that, because you are going to create the same toxicity in whatever situation you're going to. Just saying. What's in your hopes? You have the Moon card and you have the Four of Wands. I think you hope to figure out what decision to make, you know, that's going to make you happy. I'm just trying to like figure something out about this. I think you want to figure out this confusion and give yourself, you know, happiness. I think you hope that you have a good ending to all this confusion and all this stuff going on. Tell me about the Moon card. Like, I think you want to finish a certain cycle and you want to be happy again. Like I said, you want to have that energy and that excitement for the world and the energy and enthusiasm of a child and feel good again and not feel drained and just blah. And like, really, you know, is this really what life has to offer? You know, almost like this vibe, like, this isn't what I was promised. And it could just be because you haven't addressed your beliefs you grew up with yet to check what you saw in your family or what, you know, you were told what was right versus what you really want to do and why you really want to do it. So you almost feel a victim or enslaved to something. And it could be what you're sitting in is actually what you want. You just don't know why you want it yet. So you're a victim to it. Or you really don't want it. You're sitting in a situation that you feel like you're supposed to be there and it's not really what makes you happy. It wasn't what you were told it was going to be or what you thought it was going to be by going that route. Or some of you, certain things and ways that you were being, you know, worked for so long and you gained happiness from them, but they're not anymore. A lot of you, to be honest with you, and I got it by the Oracle cards, which was weird because I didn't really have it in the tarot, but now I am. Like, now I'm getting it and I see why it is. Like, some of you guys are going to go through a certain type of awakening or perspective shift, or even really, if you want to look at it, like a growing up, like a growing and coming into your own, where you're really looking at life and you're like, I don't want this. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't what I promised. This isn't what I want. You might even have a certain level of unhappiness and you're just like, what is the point of all this? Like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And I find a lot of times when people go through awakenings, or one of the biggest ones, or when they actually kind of grow up, they go between this kind of, it's kind of the uncomfortability that happens when you go from being asleep in the world and just being on autopilot and you're just doing, like, you don't stop and think about why you're doing what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, like, something makes you think about it, whether it's a download or whether it's like something really changes in your life that you can't run away from or you can't deny. And you wake up and basically you see, like, the world isn't what you thought it was. And, you know, you kind of go between this period. I don't want to go too much into it just on this reading because it's not mostly focusing on that, but you go between this period of being blindlessly happy because ignorance is bliss, to all of a sudden you see it and you know it's not what you thought it was. And all of a sudden it's like, what is the point in all this? Why am I doing all this? You don't just, the happiness just doesn't derive from anything. Like, you feel like your parents in life lied to you. Like, there was such this enthusiasm in the world and all these possibilities and life was just great and you just keep living it every day and life's just great and it's just going to keep being great, or it'll have some ups and downs, but something always pushes you. My point in saying this is when you go through like a belief change, which is kind of why in your likely future you probably do have the Hierophant card too, where, you know, the Hierophant, yes, it shows Taurus, but it's very much about what you value, which is fun. Uranus is in Taurus right now, so there's a lot of shakeups in this. I mean, actually right now you have you'll have the full moon in Scorpio, so maybe something's going to be released. Here's Scorpio, you know, and you know, I feel like, because Scorpio energy is coming up very strong in a lot of my readings. This one's probably the least, actually, but so I feel like it's going to be even more intense than normal. You do have the new moon in Taurus that has already passed, but I think the Scorpio full moon is going to be even more intense than normal because opposite it in its sign of Taurus, you will have Venus, Mercury, Uranus, and the Sun in Taurus. So, I mean, very much about love, beauty, what we value, relationships. Mercury being communication, the way we think, maybe even a quick action type of thing. Uranus is a shaking up of energy, doing things outside of the norm, almost a rebellious type of energy, just to see where the pieces fall. Which is funny, I was saying that earlier, because it's almost like that's what you're doing. Things might be being shaken up around you, and you're watching to see the way pieces fall and to see what people's their hands getting revealed. And then you have the sun, which is about ego, illumination, energy and stuff like that, creation. So, but it's a masculine energy opposing the moon, which is a feminine energy. Scorpio, also feminine energy. But which is funny because you have the moon right here too. And then you had death come up to clarify the moon. Some of you may go through, whether you let go, either this other person or situation you realize you've lost, or you let go of this main situation you were in, or it lets go of you. This is what you're trying to decide between you or somebody else, to decide whether or not to let this situation go. You don't know what to do about that which you've built up. You or somebody else doesn't. And your hopes is that you figure it out, or that you can keep all this under wrap as you're figuring it out. Because there is some type of change going, and it's going to be significant. It is going to bring you a type of awakening. It's going to pop you out of cycles that you've been in. You may be having to look at all your beliefs, your values, maybe even money, financial. Taurus rules, that's ruled by Venus and somewhat the earth too. So it's abundance, love, financial stuff, what you value, traditions, beliefs, like old generational things. What's right? What's wrong? Being good or popping out of that and doing you. There's a big shake up here, not only going on around you, but within you. I feel like something's being cut away, and it's changing. You might have either karma delivered to you, hopefully you're on the right side of it, or the wheel is changing, and you're trying to decide what to do, what way is going to be victorious. Some of you are possibly thinking this Taurus or this earth sign is, or just somebody, or I don't really get that though, because it could be if you're with a family or the mother of your children or whatever, but I really get that you feel like there's somebody that you're looking at that you're very passionate about. Some part of you is very drawn to them. You might see them as high value, very nurturing of themselves. Maybe they're building stuff up business-wise or creative-wise or whatever. There's some beginning or some possibility or some promise, some new potential that you see there. It is a little uncharted for you though. Like it's a little undiscovered, but you really hope to figure this out because you want to know whether to stay in this or go forward. But I feel like a lot of you feel like what you've built up can crumble very easily. It just wasn't built on a sturdy foundation. But your fear is that you will take a risk and jump into this new, again, so like here's the Hermit going in. I don't know if you could see it, but it's like kind of a dark forest he's entering into. And your fear is that you're going to go into this dark area and take a risk. And you will end up maybe single, 9 of Cups. Maybe even happy, God forbid. I don't know. But this caterpillar is like, it's like a hookah. I don't know if you can see it. He's holding on to it and its lines are going. Like he's literally feeding his own cups. But you almost have like an analysis paralysis. You're scared to go either way. You're stuck. Like, you really don't want to be where you are, but you're really scared to go and do anything else because what if it doesn't work out well for you? And then also you probably wonder and question yourself on, why do I really want it? Is it even healthy? Will the same thing happen? Maybe because you're looking at your own traits and your own stuff you have to heal. Do you want to heal it? If you do, will it work out? If you don't, it probably won't work out and you'll end up right back here anyway. So if you do, is it worth all this mess and all this shakeup? Is it worth taking the risk? Maybe that's what I'll name this video. Is it worth the risk? That's why you really have to look at yourself. You really, really need to look at yourself and see why you're making this decision. Because it's going to be more of a likelihood that it will work out for you. But you can't stay also in a situation because you're scared to be alone, if that's what any of you are worrying about. That is like pure codependency, which is what I was saying about you don't want to bring that energy forward. So hopefully that's what you're planning for right now by having all this armor to where you're prepared, is that hopefully you're okay. If you are alone, whether it's financially, emotionally, whatever, just please don't manipulate the situation and please don't bring this codependent energy. And to be honest with you, just as my personal advice, please give yourself time to heal if you do leave this situation or if it leaves you before you go to something else. There is very much a kind of toxic and codependent energy here, and you just are not going to want to bring this forward. Not only that, but you're going to be going through a lot of realizations and a lot of things, and you're not going to want to be going through that, especially not with somebody that you seem to think very highly of or really like or be drawn to. I mean, to some degree, you could go through a certain level of healing together, but it seems like you or somebody else really is going to go through some type of enlightenment or awakening or perspective shift or growing up. And that's kind of, when you're going through that, you want to be in your own energy. You don't want to be in other people's energies. But I will say your likely outcome is, I think you do find your new belief system. I think you find your new path, and your likely outcome is you have the Emperor. And I think you do kind of, you try at least. I think you, for the most part, succeed, but you try to come out with a way where everything is the best way that it can be, and everybody is as happy as they can be. The best possible solution for everybody. Hopefully you're not trying to too much control the situation. I wouldn't recommend that with these energies right now, but I do think you're trying to go about it as logically as you can, almost to where you create as best as you can a win-win situation, or the least like damage control, the least amount of damage as you can. Tell me about this Emperor. You want to take back control and not be stuck and in your head, and know what to do. Be within yourself and aligned again. You want to emotionally walk away from the Ten of Pentacles. I'm telling you, a lot of you guys are like, because this Emperor it's a father figure. So also it could be like a supervisor at work or a manager at work or somebody who rules or dictates through another team or whatever, but it's also a father. And you want to become untrapped mentally and just period. You want to be aligned with yourself. You might also have a mistress or somebody that was a mistress or somebody that you feel very spiritually connected to at the very least. You feel very drawn to them. And you want to leave. Some of you may want to leave them and go back with your family. I feel very more so, though, you actually want to leave your family or that which you've built up. It could be a job you've been with for a while. You want to move on and be in alignment. You feel so, yeah, Queen of Cups or Queen of Swords, I mean. You want to cut something out because you don't feel aligned. You don't feel like you. You are starting to feel that cognitive dissonance between what you thought you should do and what you put together and what was always right and what you were told, and like your true self coming out, and you're just like, something's not right, something's not right, something's not right. Yeah, like you're just regretful, you're sad. I don't know. I mean, you could be thinking about what you lost and not what you have. I don't know. Just make sure you guys are really coming from a good place on this. And the King of Cups keeps coming up. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You know, here's your Scorpio energy that keeps coming up. Maybe even what you're sad about that you lost is you. Maybe you're like kind of also going through like a mourning period of who you are and who you used to be and who are you becoming. Like, that's part of the awakening that you go through, is looking at who you really are and mourning a part of yourself, mourning. And sometimes it's even painful, just to let you know. So, you know, don't get too, you know, woo, if that happens. Like, sometimes when you're clearing, like karmic patterns or generational patterns, which is in your DNA, it's in you. Like, I'm not even joking about that. Like, I full on felt it. I could feel it being, like, when they describe, I mean, I don't know if it's like what a Scorpio goes through when they go through their Phoenix phase, but, and I know I probably will have another one coming, but I went through that phase. Like, I don't know if everybody feels it the same, but for me, like, I went through a Phoenix phase, and for me personally, like, it literally felt like not fire on the outside, but like inside, like I can feel the fire. I could feel my body burning all of that up. And I know I have more to release, but with what I already did, I could literally feel it being released from my body, like from my cells, my cellular memory, my DNA, like all of that. You may not. I did. I'm very sensitive though in my body. So, you may be mourning, like not just mourning stuff in your physical environment, but also mourning a part of yourself as you're going through this shift that is leading to you, to who you're becoming. Because that's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing the Phoenix. As you're being reborn. Again, Scorpio energy. So, the Lovers, Four of Cups. Yeah, the Lovers, Four of Cups, Six of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Six of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, like what's in your mind. Could be someone from your past. Could be somebody you have good, positive, nostalgic memories about. Something that you remember possibly was a good time. I don't know. That you've been waiting on a renewal with. And possibly a reunion. And you view them very highly. Again, Empress. Could be Taurus or Libra. And trying to decide what to do. You're really trying to decide. You're trying to decide what to stay in and what to leave. Because it just keeps coming up over and over again. And I will say that you guys are on a spiritual path, because what was I gonna say? So I'll go to this first, but so here's the Fool again. You have plenty of Fools that keep coming up. It was kind of like this though, like you're in the midst of, I don't know if I want to take the risk or if I do. Again, the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Five of Swords, comparison. You're trying to compare and decide what you want to do, which one's better. You know, really what this card is showing, they're both just as good. This tree is this tree, this tree is this tree. They're just different freaking kinds of trees. So there really isn't a one is better or not. My guidance to you is look at yourself, look at who you are, look through your beliefs, look at through your traditions, look through your patterns and your all that stuff, because you can't decide on what's best for you if you don't even know who you are or what makes you tick or what you're going to do or whatever. So decide that first, and then just decide, like, listen to your intuition and which one is better suited for who you are. I think you're putting a lot of energy into who you should be with in an external way, but this is really, you need to go through an internal transformation. You're not really going to be able to know or decide, which is why, you know, in your thoughts is the Hermit. They go within. You're not really going to be able to decide which one is right for you and which way to go until you look at that stuff within yourself. Because they're both just trees at the end of the day. One is better for one thing, one is better for another thing, which is probably why in the past you were sitting here like this, trying to, like, you know, go like this with both. I'm just going to keep them both. I'm just going to maintain both. When I want this, I'll go this way. When I want this, I'll go this way. Like you, again, there's a little bit of a Scorpio vibe here where, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but Scorpios are very opportunistic. You know, they look around in them and see, you know, who's going to, I mean, a lot of people do this, but they do it in a little bit of a better way of who's going to benefit me? Who's going to bring me what I need at this time? Are you of use to me for whatever reason? And it's almost like you had this person was good for this person was good for this person, and it's also kind of narcissistic too. And I don't know why, for some reason, if just maybe this other situation isn't giving you what you need anymore and you think this other situation will, or if you're just starting to evolve and see your patterns and it's not really working for you anymore. Maybe you're getting older and you don't have the energy to maintain it in the same way. Maybe because of those patterns, you lost out on something that you realized you really wanted and that was really important to you. I don't really know. It's going to be different for everybody, but before you can decide this over what's right for you and what's not, you're going to have to find out who you are first. Also, this is the Five of Swords, so letting go of that mental conflict and the games. I don't know who here is playing games, whether it's one or both of you or all of you, but something has to be let go of. So Eight of Cups again, and returning back to this. This is the Sun card, but innocence. Going back to that phase where you know, this card talks about how as a kid, you know, you have that naivety and you see the world in a certain way, kind of like what I was saying earlier, actually. And then all of a sudden you realize life's not what you thought it was. You know, there's harsh things and there's okay. But you realize that life's not exactly what you thought it was, or that the dreams you thought weren't any longer, what you were promised isn't as fulfilling, or whatever, and you become disheartened about it. Things hurt you, whatever. And this bringing back the innocence is about you becoming to a healed, kind of awakened, evolved state to where you have that spirit and that energy and that mind, the vision, the view of a child, that excitedness in life again, and the opportunities that the world can offer you, but yet you see the reality of the world at the same time, and you're more of that healed kind of state. And just so you know, for clarification, the reason I said that Scorpios were opportunistic is because literally in the zodiac, they are about other people's money. Taurus is about their own money. Scorpio is about other people's money. And that's not to say Tauruses don't work for things or get their own money. It's just they're very good at seeing the opportunities in things. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by it. So if you're in a lower level Scorpio or that type of energy, you're going to be manipulative about it. If you're in a higher level energy about it, you're going to be very good at seeing like creation and opportunities of things and things that you can make things in yourself and not just manipulating other people to bring it to you, whatever, you get the point. So, there's something you're going to be letting go of, whether it's physically an experience, or whether it's just emotionally, you know, you're letting go of some emotion or thought or belief or something that, you know, has you held back or not having a realistic view in life. And you're going to learn to go with the flow, The Knight of Cups. You might even make an offer, but maturity, things of stress and suppression, and you're going to go on your own path. Like there's just totally a level of an awakening here and a going within and a coming out of your shell, like to who you really are. And you have something about the Six of Cups. So either something or someone from your past or your own childlike nostalgic memories you're going to be working through and processing and healing through something. Or, you know, your own just childlike energy and emotion. And maybe even stuff from your past, though, you're going to break through and you're going to bust out of and realize and come to the end of a cycle on. You're going to find a better balance for yourself, hopefully anyways. Even if it comes through you being single, honestly, and going through like this. Here's the Phoenix energy. This is the perspective card to the Hangman. See how he's crawling? And then he like rises up and here's his Phoenix wings growing. You're going to realize things. I have a feeling for some of you, not all of you, you're either going to find a peace with this situation you're in and that you really want it. Or some of you are going to realize, like, you're just going to realize something, possibly for some of you, about another person's situation or somebody from your past. And really what they meant to you and what you really want. Maybe even, like I said earlier, like you lost something. And that, you know, there's a level of balance and maybe even give and take that you're wanting to do. Something you didn't see before about yourself, the situation, or them. And you now maybe want to come together. Communicate or something. That maybe you've been holding on to something from your past or there's something you didn't see about yourself. There's very much also a karmic vibe to this. The moon keeps coming up. Like there's things you did not see. Your head was just all whatever. And then something, you know, possibly grows in an unlikely situation. But either way. Trying to hurry because I want to try to get this before it goes out of time. It's already going to be long enough. But you are going to be going away from something. You have Journey. She's going away from something and going on a new journey. Storm warning. It's going to be a little bit rough for you. You're going to go after what you value, though. But you are going to have a little bit of indecision about it. Some of you might have to see about what do you really want, what's your real emotions. Maybe some of you even have like sexual indulgences you got to keep under wrap. But there might be, you're trying to decide which way to go, and you're trying to have patience about it. You're trying to have strength. Like strength comes up a lot here. And then, like I was saying, I felt the strength card and this came up quite a few times. There's something within you you're needing to see and heal. And I think it does have to do probably with your root chakra, but definitely your sacral too. So like sexuality, creativity. You might have like an overactive or underactive like sacral chakra. Maybe you're like overactive in the sex department or underactive, or you're using your high level of energy and creativity, but with people. Like there's some type of indulgence issue here, I believe. You're out of alignment and out of balance. So root chakra, sacral, sexuality, creativity, root. You know, fears, security, trust. Maybe some of you have trust issues. I feel a lot of your chakras, actually. You have a lot with like your solar plexus, the will, the self-esteem, you know, that oomph, that fire, that confidence, the power, your fourth chakra, heart. I think you're going to see things, like you're not going to be deceived anymore, and you're going to see somebody or something in possibly a different light, something with more balance. But you or somebody else is going to walk away from something. And some people around you may not even like it. And you're going to have to be okay with that and being true to yourself and what you express, like your true expression of who you really are. And you, like I said, you're just going to have to deal with people who aren't going to like it. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to understand. And they might even view you as wrong. But I think you're going to decide and go after that which you want, and that is really you. But you have changed in the night. You have changed quickly. 11. And then you have believe. So I guess I'll read these real quick. They're pretty short. So change the night. You have changed quickly. Sudden, unexpected change. A shock, unexpected news. Adjusting to a new situation. Finding out more about who you are. Inexperience and uncertainty. An identity crisis due to changed circumstances. So something does change. Whether you leave, they leave, you find out something about yourself, you find out something about your family. There's something that comes up. Maybe it just, I mean, usually it's probably through a stressful situation that these usually happen, but it could just be, it just starts coming within you. You have beliefs, strange encounters. Meeting people who are very unlike people you have ever met before. Maybe you have that whole twin flame energy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But somebody sparks something in you that just sets off a whole new path for you, basically. Meeting people who are very unlike people you have met before. Mystic events and peculiar experiences. Interacting with different cultures, customs, and belief systems. Mystical encounters with elemental beings who interact with you. Finding they are just as real as you. Discovering new places, environments, even climates that are different to any you have experienced before. Something unusual that is most decidedly as real as you are. Now, I'm telling you, you're going to see something in a different way. Maybe something that you had never seen before or experienced before or felt before or thought before. Whatever. You either are or you're going to. And that might be a lot of what you're kind of figuring out and going through, you know, right now. And then you have Nautilus Angel. Be prepared to ask for help from others. Right now you have a lot on your plate and it's getting difficult to tackle it all on your own. Striving to be independent is admirable, but we are all social beings and at times must rely on each other in order to thrive. Maybe you thinking asking for help is a sign of weakness or you are afraid of being a burden. Just remember all the times you have given your help and advice and recognize that your loved ones will welcome the opportunity to reciprocate. By allowing others to support you physically or emotionally, you are contributing to a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving and allowing someone else the chance to experience how rewarding it is to do something nice for another. So, you know, this is going to be uncharted territory for you. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a whole nother world or experience of something that you've never experienced before or whatever. And I don't know, you could try to do it on your own or whatever. I would recommend talking or asking for help about it. You are kind of going on a spiritual path now. You have the temple path. Like, this is aligning whatever it is going to happen to what you're supposed to be doing or what you're supposed to be on. And your intuition and your higher self is guiding you. Here's the 6th chakra. It's guiding you to bust out of this gate. Because you're in this gate. Like, this card is all about, I've built up all this stuff that's in this garden. It's beautiful. It's nice, blah, blah, blah. But then she's sad because she's like, what else is out there? She wants to leave the garden. She wants to leave the gate. And then you have the Magician and the Mirror, which I'll read to you. This card upright represents the culmination of your power and spiritual power at this time. In the Magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is the vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the Magician, which is what's crossing you. You have the Hangman and the Magician. You don't see your own power yet. You don't see what you're able to build yet. Like, this is also a confidence issue. Like I said, your solar plexus. So you don't see your abilities and what you're able to do right now yet. But you are the Magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin and the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing energy or direction and creativity. Together they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands beside the Magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choice of use or dismiss the true power that you have. So you can either use it or dismiss this power. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically formed. When you receive the Magician upright, you are put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life. And just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in your daily life. Direct your destiny, and the mists of the future will clear into brilliant reality. So like I said, you will either realize that you want the situation that you're in, but because it will be in your choosing, your beliefs, your power, or you will choose to release yourself from this situation, take back your power, and go do that which your heart desires and be on your path. And then you have keeping up, immense effort, advance. It's going to take a lot of effort, but just keep going. Be patient. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure. Precipice of change. Pause before action. Be a leader. Show others how it's done. You can help others. You're going to basically break out of these karmic patterns. Nonsense. It's time to talk sense. It's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. You're going to break out of these patterns. And you might even be one of those, like a path paver or a way shower, especially in your people or around you. I know when I started doing this, like, everybody looked at me crazy. They asked me if I should get help, blah, blah. Which I'm not saying in a bad way, but it's just the way it goes. They don't always understand, or they don't know what you're going through. And, you know, then after a while, when you get doing it, a lot of times those same people come to you for advice and guidance, because then they start either seeing how things have benefited you and where your life is going, or they start then going through things and they want to use your advice. But, you know, it's about having that energy of doing what's true to you and not doing things because it's what's right, it's what you believed or what others tell you should do. And standing up for yourself and speaking your truth and expressing yourself, no matter what anybody believes or whether they tell you you're right or wrong. I mean, you want to be flexible and allow, you know, your perception to change, you know, but in a balanced, true to you type of way, but just stay open and flexible. But at the same time, be true to you, you know, and not everyone has to share your opinion, and that's okay. Not everybody has to awaken, and that's okay. Just do you and be you. Lead by example. Don't try to control or change people. Lead by example. But just be you, because not everybody's going to understand and not everybody's going to agree. And by you being you, it forces them to look at themselves and their own codependencies and their own toxic energy. I mean, this is your life. You came into this world alone, you leave this world alone. I mean, try to be, you know, thoughtful about it, try to be balanced and all of that, but not to your detriment. And true love understands that. A lot of people think true love is gripping on and holding on. True love is freedom. True love is knowing that if somebody finds happiness somewhere else, that you love them enough to release them to go find that happiness, and that you may not be able to provide that happiness to them. You can love somebody from afar. You can love somebody enough to let them go. If it works out and it comes back, it comes back. But true love is wanting that person to truly be happy, even if their journey leads them elsewhere to find it. I'm not saying that fits to this, apply it as necessary, but true love is freedom. And our society really teaches us opposite of that. I mean, there are loyalties, there are certain things, we should be true to ourselves and honest and not manipulate, but you get what I'm saying. So your animal spirit cards, we'll do this real quick and then I'll pull 3 or 4 advice cards and then we'll be done, is bear. So waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort is difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and the journey of your transformation begins. When in balance, inner strength, yearning to grow. When out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy, heaviness. To bring into balance, movement, exercise. And then you have wolf. And you have guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual, The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. Exactly like what I was saying. This includes children working in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, reliable, democratic, fearless. When out of balance, judgmental, dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go. Like maybe you even have a tight grip on your family or what that looks like, but I don't know if that was also done to you. Like, you might be in this situation, like when it says this includes children walking in their parents' footsteps, you might literally realize that you've been going out around your whole life and being, especially in this situation, that was right because you were trying to walk in your parents' footsteps, or you were trying to do what made them proud of you, or what they saw as right, or what was successful in their or society's eyes. And you're doing it just because of that, and hopefully you're not passing that on to your kids too, but just guiding them and giving them advice of the world, but teaching them to trust their own inner voice and their own inner creativity, and not doing things just because it's what others say or what's right, unless it's in there for their good because they don't understand yet. But you guide them. You guide them to their individuality. You guide them to their expression. You guide them to what's right and what's in their heart. And you give them words of wisdom, not fear that was passed on to you, but experiences that you've been through, and then you release them to do theirs. And I have a feeling that you're breaking out of a very big, generational or karmic pattern here for you, and really coming into your own and realizing who you are and what you really want. Which will also probably help you to have balance to those around you and your own children, if you have children, which I think you do, because a lot of stuff about family and fatherhood, maybe even people at work, like, that you're, supervising and stuff. This is going to bring you to a level of balance, which is then going to ripple into the environment around you, however it works out. To bring it to balance, practice letting go. So either letting go of control, letting go of a situation, whatever, your intuition will guide you and let you know. But you're definitely going to be releasing a lot of stuff. There's definitely a lot of Scorpio full moon energy here. And a lot of those ways. The Taurus is really going to be playing on this too, especially all those energies within Taurus. So this is going to be different for everybody. Hit me up for a personal reading if you want to know more detailed, or what to do with their blocks, or what yours looks like. Because there's a couple different storylines here playing out, but the overall idea and energy is pretty much the same. Also, while I'm doing this, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Donation and service information is in the description box below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Comment. I know I keep saying that, but circulate the videos. It's the best way to help me out, to circulate the videos. And thank you so much for walking this journey with me and allowing me to walk this journey with you. I really love you guys. If you need help with this, let me know. But you are going through a type of alignment process to be able to move forward and end a cycle. Yeah, the Chariot and the World card. Give me 3 or 4 cards of advice for Virgo. Make sure you use your intuition about this new beginning. Don't go just off patterns and hasty actions, which I don't think you're doing because you are waiting. But there is, there's things changing right now. There's kind of like timing, so be patient, which you are. You got a lot of things about time. Listen to your intuition about this new beginning. Don't let passions rule you, because you have the High Priestess. You have the Ace of Wands. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon card, which just came up numerous times. There's things at play here that you're not seeing, and there's very much generational or karmic patterns. Probably some of you, it is kind of a sexual thing. See how this guy is sitting here and there's all these seducing kind of women ghosts or whatever. Definitely needing to see yourself, addressing your own ego, following your path, listening to your higher self. Go within. Don't get your happiness from outside of you. It's not going to work. There's stuff you're needing to heal and see about yourself, because you're definitely stuck in a pattern right now of who am I, lack mentality, the grass is greener on the other side, what new opportunities can I have, blah blah blah. But when you go within and you do all this and you look at yourself, you'll know exactly the direction to go. But right now you're confused because you're feeling that conflict and the cognitive dissonance, where one part of you is wanting to go one way based off old beliefs that aren't really yours, and then a new part of you that's emerging that is truly more your genuine you. And you're not going to know unless you do that inner work and then you listen to your own intuition. Don't listen to other people's opinions. Unless you're going to like somebody who is non-biased or has a more educated or experienced or maybe even spiritual perspective. No. Don't listen to loved ones, family members, anything like that. Like this is a part in your life of transformation right now where it's about you, it's about your journey, and it's about something that only you are going to be able to look to and answer to when you pass from this physical reality. There's other times you can look to the advice of other people. I mean, obviously do it the best way you can, whatever, but don't do it to your detriment. This is a transition in your life where your genuine self is trying to come out. Look within. No. I mean, unless you want to just take it and you can ask people's advice when they came to that point in their life and just see what they did and then go still do what you want on your own. But you've got to listen to yourself. You've got to listen to your intuition. You've got to go within and connect above. Because this is very much a genuine self coming out and an alignment. Hopefully you don't fight it. I don't know if you're able. It's going to be very painful if you do. I don't know. I love you guys. If you need any help with this, let me know. I think it does end well for you. Maybe. I don't know. Show me about the Emperor. Action. Hopefully you're not sticking to the rigidness. Because you have the Hierophant and the Emperor, which can be really great cards, but they can be very rigid too. You do go after what you want. At first, you are going to take action and have to address that kind of codependent energy within you, which is going to then give you a balance and help you to move forward. But you are going to have to move, change, or cut away things out of your life and take action and look at your different options. You may be confused for a minute, but eventually you do decide what to focus on. Yep, you do. You do decide. You know what way to go. You end up learning how to calm that part of yourself, at least to some degree, and how to move forward. So, I love you guys. Hit me up if you need any help with this. For further information, look in the description box below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. And thank you very much. I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.